I want to talk about the whole inside-outside thing going on here. One really quick thing is I've kind of come to the realization based on just my own thinking about these things and various comments. I bring up little situations when I'm introducing characters, when I'm introducing situations, where I'm introducing stuff about inside and outside and all these. And I was like, because I was thinking about how I'd introduced the sheriff and the deputy of the town of Tall Ned. And it's like, oh, he has prophetic dreams. And one of the things, just to introduce why the deputy likes being there, is a story about the prophetic dreams of how this creature, the Catanope, was coming in, and the prophetic dreams got them to save the town. And I was like, that should be more than just a memory. That's a real short story to write out. That's a full thing. So who knows, maybe I'll be writing up the story of the sheriff and the deputy and how they, through the prophetic dreams, they get all the stuff together, because the sheriff isn't sure this was going to work. They just had dreams about the Catanope coming in, and that's bad, and how it can't be killed. Everything says that can't work, but they have prophetic dreams about a golden bullet, and so they make a golden bullet, and the sheriff, they bring the gun, the bullet, to where they've got the dreams about where it's going to show up, and he doesn't know if it's going to happen. They could all be killed because it doesn't work. They could all be killed because it comes up behind them. They could all be killed for so many reasons. There are so many ways it could have gone wrong. They had no idea if it was going to work, but they had to try. And it worked. So I was like, boy, that actually could be a cool story. And the whole story I told yesterday or the day before, I can't even remember my time sense, even medicated on ADHD for ADHD. My time sense is awful. When I was talking about the character of Speleodoncus Ray and his introduction, it's like, that's a full damn story on its own that could go into a horror thing. I need to write up some of these just introductory things that I think of, so thumbs up on that. And then hopefully I'll actually get them, written and then read them out, so that would be cool. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Now, there is some stuff that I have thought about that I wanted to talk about for a time. I've mentioned that there is an internet on the inside, but it's not an internet. It was made independent of what's out here, and they're mildly compatible, different protocols, there's translation software, but the tech and stuff from the inside and the internet there is from the tech of the Crimson Kingdom, because early on, the King in Crimson had figured out that there are things that are really good to go for. Because when you're trying to make up a kingdom and it's expanding, you need to have people to delegate. And if you got people to delegate out to and they're out there, there's going to be times when they're not there. And if they're not there, they have to send messages. And there's only so much info you can put in a message. And so through just pushing on things, they actually developed not digital, but analog tape recording technology before things like radio. And so they were able to push, and it's a genderless, sexless being compared to humans, loved being able to having the person out there talk a full thing instead of doing just cribbed quick notes. That helped. And then of course, from horse to vehicle to developing radio, to telephone, to television, pushing hard. And these were all done independently, of course, because it's not the United States on the inside, but they pushed hard on this. Because being able to talk to one of your representatives out there on a phone-like device saves so much time. They don't have to travel from out there to come back in here to talk to you. You just pick up the phone. And then being able to add video to that through video talk. Once computer-like stuff became available, through the push of technology and research, because of the King in Crimson and the Crimson Kingdom, they developed computers and all this sort of stuff real early. Because again, the Crimson King just leaned into this hard, because being able to just instantly call up a delegate that's out on the field and have a full video talk with them instantly. And the tech there is, because of the push, is like you got basically 8K wireless and it's dynamically scaling, so whatever your device can handle, it'll push it to its max. And you've just got that 8K full sound stuff going on just to be able to do video talking. And this is technology that's making it out into the general public through like just cell phones and cameras and all that. Big push on tech. The King in Crimson in the Crimson Kingdom loves this stuff hard. And of course, the King in Crimson also knows that this is going to eventually push their ability to understand past their ability to understand. As a powerful being, instead of being a power, they have like a cap limit on what they can be. It's like they're a bear. They can be as good a bear as possible, but they can't be more than a bear. Eventually, stuff is going to get past what they're able to adapt to. And they know that, but they want the kingdom to last longer than just them. They're more than just a hedonistic, I am president for life and who cares what happens to the place after they're gone. No. The King in Crimson wants the kingdom to last as long as possible. It is their beautiful, wonderful machine, and they are intensely proud of this. So there's a huge push on that tech, and that undernet, the internet on the inside, is used on the Razor's Edge. It's used all throughout the Crimson Kingdom. It's even pushed and used into the domain of the Pale Kingdom, the Pale Domain, and even the Association of Sovereign Free States uses the ThruNet. So it's a big thing, and there is a friendly tech war going on because the Pale King was caught completely by surprise. Their tech push is a long way behind. They're at about the level of Commodore 64 stuff there, and everybody's using the ThruNet. And of course, that's always a little bit of money and resources and such heading straight to the Crimson Kingdom. So thumbs up on that. But yeah, even out on the Razor's Edge and even a little bit on the outside, there is a small but appreciable market, very stable for tech and such from the inside. And even on the outside where we are, for the 10% of the people that have conscious sight can see and interact with stuff from the inside, there is that import-export market. Now, of course, you're not going to be able to go into a place like Walmart and find stuff like that because, 80% of the population simply cannot see this stuff as what it is. And of those 20% that can, 10% can't see it or interact with it consciously, and only 10% can. It's small specialty shops. So when somebody wanders in that has no sight, they just see boring stuff, no real details, it's dull, so they just leave. But somebody who's got the sight, they come in and it's like, oh wow, there's tech from the inside. I can get myself the latest Sayaki phone. They have to put up towers, and that's been a hard one, because trying to put up towers that can send a signal in a very fluid geography, especially on the Razor's Edge, has been a big tech problem for the Crimson Kingdom. How do you put up a tower that's going to send out a signal over an area and have it be in range of other towers when there's more there than you can see and interact with at the time? If you set a tower here today and come back tomorrow, it may not be there. That's been a big problem for the King in Crimson. But it has been solved, and they've been rolling it out, which is, they still can't offer anything like location services because it's also a flat landscape on the inside. There is no sky that goes around the globe. You can't put up satellites.